Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special day. I cannot wait to talk about it. It's my third Spineaversary, y'all. 3 years ago today, I had scoliosis surgery, and not many people know like the actual full story behind the struggle and success of my scoliosis surgery journey. Like, I've shared parts, but like not the full thing. So today we are going to be going through like the events of everything that has happened from the day that I found out that I had scoliosis all the way up until now. I seriously cannot believe that it's actually been a whole 3 years. Like, I'm in between celebration and shock today because it's just like, it's just crazy. Like, all the struggles that it has taken to get to this point, to feel this good has definitely it doesn't seem real. So, yeah. But let's take it back all the way to 2018 when basically all of this, got started. September 18th, 2018, 5 days after my 12th birthday, I went to the doctor's office, to get the regular annual checkup stuff done, once you turn a new age. And so everything was fine until my doctor asked me to bend over at the end of the appointment. And she had told my parents to get up and look at my back. And she was like, I can't really medically diagnose this, but I really do think that this is scoliosis, and I'm just going to send you guys to get x-rays. So she gave us the order to get x-rays. That was in September. And at that point, I wasn't really like concerned about it. I didn't know what scoliosis was. It was minor to me. I didn't feel any pain. I wasn't experiencing any symptoms. So I was good. And I had forgotten about it, because that was my first year of middle school. And so I was kind of getting into the vibe of middle school. I was having fun, and it completely slipped my mind. So, everything was good. So here we are, supposed to get x-rays to see if I have scoliosis or not. And October rolls in. I think we had like a few events going on at church, so my parents were also busy as well. So we were like really just busy with a whole lot of stuff, having fun and whatnot. So October rolls in, and then Hurricane Michael in October 2018 literally shut everything down. So it's gone by a whole month. We go back to school in November. Then you got the holiday season in December and January. And so in January 2019, in the new year, it started becoming more of an issue, and an intricate effect on my daily life. And so my dad was literally coming up to the school almost every day, bringing me pain medicine. And it was getting really bad to the point where he was like, yeah, we're going to have to do something about this because this is now becoming an everyday thing. And so finally, 5 months after that appointment that I had in 2018, before the hurricane, after the hurricane, 5 months later, February 26, 2019, I finally got x-rays, and unfortunately it was showing scoliosis. And when I went to get those x-rays, I was in a room by myself to change in, and I had already knew in my mind that something wasn't right. And I knew something was wrong, but like to actually hear it be confirmed, it took a minute for my heart to catch up to what my mind already knew, if that makes sense. So it was very, very emotional. So basically my doctor called my parents with the results and was basically like, okay, her spinal curve has literally exceeded, what I can do here in town, and she needs to see an orthopedic specialist somewhere else. And so that's when the search for hospitals outside of our area began, and UAB in Birmingham, Alabama came up, and many of our friends and close family have been there. So it was a recommended thing to us, UAB, right off the bat, and we chose to go that route. And it was far, but not too far, but to where we could still get help in a great area. So we got a consultation to meet my doctor that we chose during spring break. And even though it was rather a serious appointment, we were able to make, sort of a family trip out of it. And so it was very fun and a great way to just get away, especially, just with being at home all the time, being in school, it was just nice to have that break and get away from Florida and go to Alabama for a little bit. So March 18th, 2019 was my first appointment at UAB Children's Hospital. I took a bunch of x-rays that day, but the one thing I remember is my reaction to when I saw the x-ray, because I never saw the first one that was confirmed in February 2019, but the doctor pulled it up when he had came in, and my heart immediately dropped because I didn't know what to think in that moment. I knew it was bad because I was in pain a lot, but I didn't think it was as bad as I saw it, and I was just sitting there looking at the x-ray like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, what? And the crazy thing is that I was already at an 80% curved spine. So like the more that I kept looking at the screen, the more that it started becoming real to me that, oh my goodness, this is actually, a problem. I didn't show my initial reaction in that moment when we were there at the hospital in front of my parents, but I bawled when we got home from that trip. And I played worship music all night, until just to get myself together and until I went to sleep, because I had never seen myself look like that before, if that makes sense, and it hurt me to see me hurt, if that makes sense. So basically from there, it was like the only option at this point was surgery, because had it not been treated with surgery, it could have damaged other organs, and other things could have gone downhill if it was avoided. And so I just, even though surgery was something I had never, had surgery experience, I knew that it would be the path that we had to take to get back to, having my life back. So we come back home, and my next appointment wasn't until May 2019. So we had like a little wait in between. So we had the whole month of April and then May. Having scoliosis was a very emotionally, mentally, physically exhausting experience for me. The energy that I had for many things, I had literally lost all of that. Like, the only thing that I felt really like doing for real was playing music, at church every Sunday. Sundays we'd play and do like 4 songs for praise and worship, and I'd be wiped out, and fatigued almost every single time we got off stage. And I just remember like getting off stage every single time, just being like, don't get weary in well doing, because I know that there will be a time where ministry no longer has to be a struggle again. So that's what my motivation was to keep going, because I knew that, it took some strength, but it didn't take my gift. And I'm very grateful for that. Another hard thing about scoliosis was I could not sleep. Literally, I was exhausted all the time. I was functioning off of whatever sleep I got the night before, and it was usually probably like 5 hours max. And I remember like many of my friends at that time who were having to wake me up or tap me to keep me up in class, because I was exhausted every single day. And they would be like, what's wrong? And I was like, I can't tell you right now, but I'll tell you soon when I can tell you, because I wanted to make sure that we had the surgery date locked in before my friends knew what was going on. So May 20th, I came back for the UAB appointment, the pre-operation appointment, and it was a long day. It was the preparation appointment before surgery, so I had to get an MRI, I had to get x-rays, so they could know what area that they needed to fix in my spine for surgery, what they needed to put into my back. I had to get blood work, and then we had to do all this paperwork for surgery, and that was such an early morning. I think it was like I woke up at 6, we had to be at the MRI place at 8, my appointment was at 9, so everything was literally back to back. And then we didn't leave the hospital until like 3 or 4 p.m. because it was such a long day of going through everything required that we needed to know for surgery. And once we walked out of UAB that time, I was thinking like, wow, it's May. My surgery's next month. Like the next time I walk into these doors, like I will be getting my surgery. And it just made everything seem more real. And that's when the 1 month countdown began for me. I came home from that trip, and by that time surgery was definitely locked in for June 18th. And I had come to the conclusion where I was like, okay, I'm at a point where people need to know because it's official. And of course, you know, my friends and I, like at that time, the friend group that I had at that time, very, very close. And we talk about everything. So of course, they're going to want to know what I did over the summer. And I'm not just going to lie to them and be like, oh, no, I'm going to tell them that I'm getting surgery. And so that's what I did. So I told them that I was getting surgery. And when I told some of them, they were literally in dead silent, like disbelief. And some of them were like, are you joking? Because like you never get sick. Like this, you never have nothing ever happens to you. And I was like, no, this is for real. I'm getting surgery. And the way that they cared for me was beyond phenomenal. And I knew it hit hard, but for them, because they've never seen me like that, because I've always been an upbeat person. I'm always motivating other people. And so when I was at my lowest point, I think it kind of like the whole script really flipped, because it was such a, because a lot of my friends who I've been with were friends with me since kindergarten, and now we're all the way in middle school together, and it's just like, I've never seen you like that before, if it makes sense. And they were very understanding. I had one of my best friends who's even in high school with me now that I've known since middle school. She would carry my backpack and like walk with me to classes or walk with me to the office and just all of that. So the way that my friends really cared for me during that time was just unbelievably special, and I'm just very grateful for that. So that's May. We get out of school on June 1st, and that was summer break, and the countdown began until surgery. We were literally at double digits. It was 17 days until surgery, and I was walking into summer 2019 fully aware of the fact that I'd spend it literally recovering at home. But I didn't know that there would be some heartbreak on top of it. June 16th, as you guys know, my grandmother passed away, and that was very, very difficult for me because she was one of my very best friends. And it was difficult. It was really, really hard. So she passed away on Sunday, June 19th. She passed away on Sunday, June 16th, 2019. And that, of course, that was a Sunday. So we went to church, and, all of our, friends and family knew. And so after church, we had got home, and Dad was like, do you still want to do surgery on Tuesday? And I said, yes. I said, even though grandma's gone, it's going to be difficult, but I need to get this surgery because I can't keep, like, grandma, I can get over, but this surgery, if this is not resolved, it's going to be a lasting impact, and I need this fixed right now. So my dad was like, okay. And so Sunday night we packed to leave on Monday. And then on Monday, we spent the whole day, traveling to UAB and getting ourselves together, for Tuesday morning surgery. We woke up super early on Tuesday morning, I think like 5 or 6, to be there around 7, and then surgery starting at 8, and, that stuff. I remember the last thing that my dad did was take off my glasses. And once I couldn't see them standing where they were anymore, I definitely freaked out and I started bawling my eyes out. And I had never been under that type of emotional and mental stress in my entire life. The separation anxiety was definitely high at that time. So they rolled me into the room. I heard the door shut. It was just me with all of these doctors. And I just like saw all this big equipment and lights, and then soon I was off to sleep for 5.5 hours. didn't know I was alive. I do not remember a whole lot about recovery because it was very painful and I was knocked out most of the time. Didn't have a clue for the majority of the time that I was live. It was very, very painful, very stressful. Once I did wake up though, I did start to, of course, come back. And I started doing physical therapy and walking around on a walker and different things like that. And then by the time that I was discharged, I was walking without assistance. But of course for me, I was very scared of falling, especially at that time, because I had stitches and just, it felt weird. And so I was always, when we were discharged and we would go out in public places, I would always hold my dad's hand or something like that. Or if we were at church, the Sundays after my surgery, I would hold someone's hand and walk with them because I was literally scared of falling. So I was actually supposed to be discharged on Saturday, June 22nd, 2019, which is my Pop-Pop's birthday, but they kept me one more day on that Sunday, June 23rd, just to make sure that everything was okay because there was something going on with my blood. Like, I literally was not, I was there for the conversation. I was there when the doctor was in the room. I don't know what really happened. All I heard was from my dad, "They're keeping you another day." And I was like, okay. But when I did come back home, the real recovery began because when I came back home, we had to literally figure out a whole new system of things because it was different. I couldn't do a whole lot. I did have a lot of limitations such as bending, jumping, lifting, picking up stuff, with certain weight limits and stuff like that. Also, no one could hug me for at least like a month. And I hated that because, especially with me having a lot of aunties and uncles, my parents' best friends are my aunties and uncles. And so, I couldn't hug them, and we are all very affectionate people. So that was a very difficult thing for me. But some of them would hold my hand and stuff like that. So I had my piece of affection. Now, I will say that the one thing I did enjoy about surgery recovery was the relaxation time, because it allowed me to step back. It gave me a actual valid physical excuse to step back from everything that I'm known to do, including church and being in ministry. I didn't realize how much I was pouring out every single week until I had to sit down and let people pour into me. Fast forward to my 1 year appointment, I was released to go back to all physical activity and sports. I'm not doing sports again. I did do volleyball. That was way before I started this channel, so y'all don't know anything about me playing sports. But I don't think I'm gonna do sports again. I'm already like achy and feel just, I don't think I can really have the patience and tolerance and to really just go back to sports. So that was my first year. Then my second year after surgery, I started doing physical therapy, because I really was like, how did they put it? I needed more like strengthening, if that makes sense, whatever they call it, strengthening. So I went to physical therapy for a couple weeks, and now it's year 3. So this is a huge milestone. I'm so grateful that God has allowed me and entrusted me with this journey. It's been difficult. It's been emotional, such a roller coaster, but God has blessed me to make it this far, and I am forever grateful. So that's the story of how everything happened, how I found out, everything like that. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, just taking you along the struggles and just sharing all the little details that make this journey what it has been for me. I love you guys so much. Happy 3rd Spineaversary to me. I'm so excited, so grateful. Love you all so much. Thank you so much for the congratulations, the well wishes, and everything. Love you all. Have a great day.